Hello yard haunters and yard haunt lovers. I'm going to finish on this vlog by Wolfgang Mozart. Here it is finally. This is part 2, I guess. Finally dried and ready for some detailing. This one is the one I just finished recently, and I used the brown color. This has dark brown base, well, dark gray base with the brown on top. This has black base, then with the light gray, then the brown. So this actually has 3-4 different colors on it to get that look. So far this has just black base only on the center part here where the lettering was, and then a dark gray here. I'm just going to try on this one a lighter colored gray dry brush just to pick up all these high spots from the heat gun water technique that I was showing you guys. So basically what you want to do when you're dry brushing, Scary Lady Videos has a really awesome tutorial on this dry brushing, and she talks about it. But basically, you don't want hardly anything on your brush at all. And if you're scared about this, you should also get some nice tarps, especially if you're going to build a lot of your own projects. I, for one, get very hot in the garage. I am in Texas. The garage is probably like 105 degrees in there. I definitely don't want to be out there doing it. So I bring my projects inside. You don't want to get paint on everything. As you can see, I'm doing this on the kitchen table. So I put a really nice good tarp on here. Hey, kitty. So I put a nice tarp on here. And if you're worried about the first initial stroke on one of your tombstones, just do a lesser area, maybe the back of the tombstone. You want to get a bunch of the paint off of your brush, just on your tarp, and then you want to do it on here. And all you want is just to try to pick up some of those highlighted bumps. And this may be even more than I wanted to pick up, but like I said, it's on the back. I'm just testing what this is going to look like right now. So then you want to back up, and you can see the difference between this side and that side. That side is very plain. This side is starting to pick up some detail and look a little bit more like stone. So, stone, or weathered stone, not so weathered stone. So you can see the big difference from the two sides. So simple to do. I mean, that took me no time at all. I'm going to go ahead and continue on this dry brushing on this entire back and do some on the front, and we'll see what it turns out like. The whole back thing is done with the dry brush technique. It came out really well on this statuary. See how it highlights all the detail on this guy. Let me see if I can turn my light on here. It's almost a little too bright, but it really highlights the detail. And let's look at the front versus the back. See? No highlight. So it looks really a lot better with it highlighted. Alright, how about we do super fast motion on the front. Let me set up my tripod, and let's do hyperspeed. Okay, all done. And if there's spots that you think don't look good, just hit it again, like that. If it looks a little bare, there's always a little paint left on that brush. You can always go back and touch it up. And if there's something you don't like, you can paint over it and do it again. So, you know, mess with it, you know, until you like it. There's no right or wrong, really. The more inconsistent, the better it probably is. So you don't want to cover the whole thing sometimes completely. You know, I left the center part not as dry brushed. I made sure it was a lot drier there in the center. I did hit it to where you can see it highlighted a little bit of the edges of the letters, which will make that pop a little more on those letters, especially at night. The light will probably bounce off of that white a little more than it does on the gray and that black, so it'll kind of highlight those letters a little bit. But there it is. I like it. And I am very happy with both of these. And like I said before, you know, I wanted to have a little bit of variation this year in my stones. All my stones last year really look all the same. It's the same technique on all of them. Black base coat and a gray brush on after. Some I sponged gray, some I put the gray on, then I would hit it with a spray bottle and let it drip down. So here are two new stones with a different paint technique than all the ones I did last year. Just wanted to kind of make it a little bit different this year, have a little bit more variety. Isn't that right, Kitty? Yeah, a little more variety in the yard this year. And this one, I don't know if you could see. Here, let me hook this back up to the tripod. And I want my stones to be pretty good size. So this is a pretty dang tall stone. And this is probably about as small as I want to go. I have a lot of stones that are smaller than this or close to as small as this. I'm going to get away from making any of the smaller ones. At the smallest this, at least this tall, kind of in between. No more small stones for this guy. This size is so much cooler. I just really like it. It makes a big impact, especially if you've got a little kid standing and they're looking up at this stone. It's going to be a lot cooler for them. And if the parents, you know, are up against this little tiny stone like at the store, I don't know, it's just not as cool. I want to make sure my stones are a good size. This is still a good size. It's a good size stone, but I wouldn't want to do any smaller than this. It's really all your opinion on what you want to do. So good luck with your stones. Hopefully that helped. If you have not started building, you better start. I was looking at my calendar once again. This is your warning again from Steve's Haunted Yard that if you are not building, you are wrong. So get building, build something, squirrel, and get your haunt on. And I will catch you guys tomorrow.